Hey guys, this is Spanky Hayes, and I want to say something, whether it's comedy, acting, or just in general real life. I use my A game. I gotta have the A game. I pack it in every pocket. I got one pill in every pocket, and every pair of pants I got. Listen, entertaining y'all is hard sometimes. I gotta fly to Dallas, then to Denver, then to New York, then to LA, then to Detroit. Come on, man. That tires me out. I just take the A game now. I don't have that problem no more. I usually barely don't sleep because I'm entertaining y'all. I'm in the studio all night with the A game. And trust me, when I come home from the studio, my woman gets to feel the real pleasure of the A game. You see, I'm smiling. Watch this. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Guess what I just took?
What?
A game, A game, A game, A game. I'm gonna meet you upstairs, all right?
Oh, okay.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to everybody that's in the building right now. If you are here, shout out to y'all. And let me take this down. Y'all make sure y'all get your A game. Get your A game, man. It's for your energy. It's for your vitality. It's for your strength. And it's for your libido. Get on your A game, fellas. So, shout out to the visionaries. Salute to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Salute to the A Game family, A Game Nation. We here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the show. Make sure you share the show. Share it on your community tab. Anywhere that you share videos, make sure you share the show. Let me give some shout outs. Let me see who up in the building. Shout out to Orange Juice Jones. Salute. I see you in a minute, man. Salute to you. Shout out to Sir O in the building. Salute. Peace to the God Go Professor in the building. Salute. Hey, what's going on, Bronze Dip? Salute to you. Good to see you. Juan G's, what's good, Juan? Salute to everybody, man. Make sure y'all like the show. Make sure y'all share the show. And today, we're going to speak on the real go along to get along gang. Who's the real go along, get along gang? Shout out to Byron Spencer. Appreciate you, bro. Salute. Appreciate that. For starting it off. I appreciate it. But before we get into it, you know, the real go along to get along gang, we're going to talk about Kwame for a minute. Now, as y'all know, I've did streams, I've did pre-recorded videos, and for a minute, I was saluting Kwame. I was saluting him. I thought he was a real one, to be real. To be honest, I really felt like he was bringing back a conversation that was kind of going stale. And with him actually speaking on it, it kind of made other brothers feel comfortable bringing it up again. And it was the whole thing about manhood and masculinity and promoting what true manhood is. So in the beginning, I'm like, yeah, we need this. You know, this is what we need. And after a while, if y'all notice, I stopped talking about him. I stopped mentioning Kwame. I just left him alone because things started going the wrong way. Shout out to 410 Carpenter. He said KB is fake. Salute, bro. Salute. And I agree with that. And we gonna get into that too, because you know, like I was saying, initially, I was rocking with him. But it seemed like he got caught up in the fame. And this is why our 10 life value system here in the A Game family is important. It's important because it addresses a man from the inside out. See, that's what it does. It addresses us from the inside out. And see, Kwame, you know, as everyone called him, they called him a bus. So when you're called a bus in the sports world, it's kind of like, well, I can't even say kind of like, they are calling you a failure. That's what they're saying. They're saying that you weren't worthy of all of the press. You weren't worthy of all of the money you've gotten. You weren't worthy of all of that because you didn't live up to everyone's expectations. So Kwame never had that feeling of him being that guy, him actually loving him, like people loving and revering him. He never had that. You know, he probably was loved in his family for going to the NBA, you know, but as far as people loving him for being famous, he doesn't know what that feel like. He has a glimpse of it because he was famous and he was in the NBA, but he doesn't know what that #1 draft pick fame feels like. Because see, if he actually would have so-called lived up to what everybody thought he was going to do, Kwame would have probably been an A-list celebrity. He would have got all types of sneaker deals. You know, he would have been in movies because he was the first round draft pick. He made history doing this. So he's not used to the type of attention that you can get overnight on YouTube. See, you could become a celebrity overnight on YouTube. You can become a celebrity overnight on YouTube. So with him coming out and him going at who he was going at, which was Tommy, it put him in a realm where now he's starting to feel important. He's starting to feel like he matters. But the question is, who do you matter to? Because see, before Kwame, you were speaking to black men. You were speaking to black men, but now all I hear you do is speaking to women and speaking about women. Now, do I have a problem with you speaking to women? No. No. But what you came in here promoting is slowly what you're moving away from. I'm noticing this. You're moving away from this stuff. You're moving away from actually working with the men and dealing with male issues. And see, I've been noticing this. The more and more subscribers you got, the more and more likes, the more and more. Now you're making money. See, y'all, I don't know if y'all remember, but before, Kwame didn't even have his super chat on. He didn't even have on his super chat. So he didn't know just how big of an impact he was making until he saw people giving up that money. Now, is it anything wrong with him making money? No. But remember, he came on here speaking against guys who were making money. You see? He was saying that these dudes is part of this go along, get along gang thing because he felt like there is a attack on black male masculinity. This is what he said. But now all I see you doing is attacking other black men. Now, am I saying you're not defending yourself? Of course not. But you're continuously taking part in the shenanigans. You've been saying a lot of stuff that is totally opposing to what you were saying before. And see, I'm bringing all of this up because he's been promoting this whole go along to get along gang thing. And you have people on here repeating it. But what is the go along to get along gang? What is it? It's the gynocracy. You see? And I remember, I'm not sure who it was, but I remember somebody saying the whole mama's cooking thing was gynocratic. And in the beginning, I didn't even think too much into it like that because I thought it was actually a joke. I really didn't think that it was something that he really was like promoting up under branding himself. Like I didn't look at it like that. I thought it was just him being a country boy. And you know, country boys, they have little slick terminology and slick slangs and things like that. So that's all I thought it was in the beginning. But now I see exactly what certain guys were saying about the whole mama's cooking thing. Because that is gynocratic. And he literally was trying to mask himself as a red pill dude. See, he's really a maggle. And he came around trying to get the ears of the men just to turn around and go back to the gynocracy. See, that's what maggles do. That's what they do. They're very indecisive. And see, I'm bringing this up because, as I said in the beginning of the show, a lot of us are running around speaking about the go along to get along gang, but we don't even know what it is. See, all of the beefs that you see going on, all of these people are part of the go along to get along gang. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they're following a backward value system. And they're promoting this backward value system through their platforms. See, this is why I played the Jay-Z song, Say Hello to the Bad Guy, which he got from Scarface. Y'all know that. But sometimes it has to be a person that is going to be considered the bad guy in order for things to get back in order. You know, because you guys, that's part of the whole go along to get along gang. Y'all are destroying generations of children by promoting this value system. What value system is that? The value system of consumerism. That's what y'all practice in y'all value system. That's why the value system is based on materialism, because it's based on what you can consume. And we all know that gluttony and greed is part of the 7 deadly sins. This is why we are not supposed to adapt or adopt or both this value system. And this value system governs the gynocracy, which is the go along to get along gang. This is why over time, when you saw Kwame getting more money, he started moving away from speaking about the boys, what we going to do for these boys, how we going to help these young black men, how are we going to address the real issues of black men. Notice he's moving more and more away from that. Now he's starting to show all his gifts that he's getting. You know, he's allowing people to just come up there and kick the Willy Bobo. You know, things are getting real watery. See, because that's what the gynocracy wants. You see why they elevated him the way that they did? Because they knew Kwame wasn't used to no fame. Especially after dealing with years of being considered a failure. Now you could come on YouTube and be the man. You could come on YouTube and be the man. Shout out to my brother, the Bishop. Salute, family. He said, preach, bro. A-game family, A-game nation, A-game world. Yes, sir. Salute to my brother. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, too. What's going on, AP? Hey, what's up, C? What's going on? Yeah, I said it. Salute. Welcome, everybody. Make sure y'all like the stream and share the stream. But if you notice, the more famous he got, those lights, those flashing lights that Kanye talked about, flashing lights, Wasn't talking about a police car. She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believes in shoes and cars. See, he telling you about it. It's the fame. It's those lights. It's those lights, man. A lot of people can't deal with that because it's a lot of pressure to uphold. And you could tell Kwame was never a real popular guy. He probably was just known for playing ball, but he wasn't no popular dude like that. You could tell. So now with him blowing up the way he's blowing up, everybody know Kwame Brown now. Everyone's talking about him now. Kwame Brown used to be Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown was the player on the Wizards that you used to take him out the game. Even like you'll make sure you turn off automatic sub on live so they don't sub him in when the center get tired. If you decide to play with the Wizards, you will take Kwame back out. That's how much nobody paid attention to this dude. And I'm not trying to bomb on Kwame. It's just that I have to use him as an example because he's the one who came up with the terminology of the go along to get along gang. Now, as we can see based on my thumbnail, that is also a cartoon. And if you go and you look into a little bit of the episodes, which I did, the go along to get along gang is exactly in the cartoon is exactly what Kwame's explaining. It is in so-called Hollywood. Shout out to 410 Carpenter for doubling up. He says he's following fanny pack blueprint. Interesting. That's interesting. We gotta see about that 410 because I do notice he's not, he didn't say that he disagreed with the whole high value man stuff or whatever. So, and he definitely wanted Tommy to stop beefing with him. So, but I don't know. I don't know. She says, A-Game family to me is like the Justice League. Powerful alone and way more powerful together. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. So yeah, that's the only reason why I'm bringing Kwame up. Because he came with the whole go along to get along gang stuff. And now we see that he's a full gynocrat. And that is what the go along, get along gang represents. That's what it upholds. The go along to get along gang upholds and represents the gynocracy. That's what it is. That's what it is. And it's because the go along to get along gang upholds a backward value system. They don't understand the power and the significance of the 10 life values. And it seems like Kwame doesn't understand it either. Because he's really going along to get along, you see? See, because if he wasn't, he'll be telling men, listen, brothers, it's about your internal first. You got to get right with yourself and with God first. You got to get your health together. You got to make sure your family is first when you out here chasing a bag. You got to watch your appearance in public and even online. You can't just be out here being reckless. You have to make sound decisions if you're going to be leaders, man. That ties into your appearance value. You see? You got to pay attention to your dwelling and the conditions of where you live. See, if he wasn't part of the go along to get along gang, if he wasn't upholding the gynocracy, this is what he'll be explaining to brothers. Now, am I saying he'll pull out this chart? No. But me listening to him further, I didn't hear any of this. You know what I heard? I heard a backward value system. I heard him keep talking about profession and leisure and wealth and education over spirituality, over health, over family. All I kept hearing him saying, we got to get these boys some trades. We got to get them in trade school. We got to get them in trade school. Okay, that's cool. Our boys do need an education, but they need to have a knowledge of themselves first. Because why you think so much young black boys don't do good in school now? It's not because they don't know. It's not because they have learning disabilities. It's because they're going through spiritual affliction. They're dealing with identity problems. This is why they don't want to perform in school. Because nobody's talking to them. There's something going wrong in their family and in their household before they get a goddamn trade so they could go out and work. See, that's gynocratic. See, because he's teaching the value system from the outside in. So what he's saying is brothers need to teach these young men how to be consumers. See, that's what he's saying. He's saying we need to teach these young brothers how to go out and consume. You see? Because when we're talking about the 4 P's, when we're talking about provision, we're talking about masculine light. You can't develop your masculine light without the internal 5. You see, you cannot lead your family in the form of ideas, right? Which comes from your foresight. You can't do that without the internal 5, without healing. You see? We can't just sit here and ignore the effects that our young men go through from dealing with being with their mother only and not having no men around. We have to assess those psychological effects before we just throw them out in the goddamn workforce. You see? We have to address the human being, the man, first before his job. But you know why you're promoting that, Kwame? Because you're a gynocrat. You're upholding the gynocracy because you're promoting a backward value system. And the gynocracy, we already know, don't value black men. They only value what black men can do. You are a commodity. Pay these bills, drop some penis off, and get out my face. That is what we are to the gynocracy. Pay these bills, drop some penis off, and leave me alone. That is what you're telling That is what you're grooming into young black men, Kwame, when you're not addressing the young man first before you address his skills and what he can do. Address who he is first. Address who he is first before you figure out, hey, well, you know, this young brother, he could carry lumber for 10 hours. See, because that's the plantation. See, we're not promoting that, Kwame. See, we're teaching young men to value themselves first. You are not a slave, young brother. You are a human being. We care about what you think. We care about how you feel. We are not here just to worry about what you can do for me. I am not your slave master. You see? And that is what you're telling these young men they need to be focused on, Kwame. Now, if that's your solution, that's your solution. But I'm letting you know that you're promoting consumerism. Because if a young man doesn't know to value himself first, which is the internal 5, what are you going to do with wealth? What are you going to do with his money? What are you going to do with his money? He going to do what you say Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes do with their money. You see? That's what he going to do. What are he going to do with his education? Instead of him taking his know-how and his skills back to his family and starting a business like you said they should be doing, without the proper knowledge of himself, he's not going to do that. He's going to take his education in his profession and do whatever with it. He's not even going to know how to help anybody with it. He's going to be greedy and gluttonous with it and throw his success back in people's face. But if he has some value about himself, right, then he'll know what to do with his money. Then he'll know what type of businesses to create because he understands what his people need. Then he'll promote education. And he will also teach his people. But he's not going to do all of that if he don't understand he got to heal first. He got to heal from coming from a broken home. He got to have somebody to talk to about that before you send him out there to get an education and to become a professional and to gather all of this wealth. And then you just become a trick. One who only provides in the form of supplies, food, finances, clothing. You become a trick. Because what? He don't value himself. Internally, he doesn't value himself. So Kwame, what you teaching brothers is backward. And it's actually, in the long run, going to hurt more than help. Because guess what? We've been practicing the backward value system forever. What have that gotten us? Y'all explain it to me. Y'all tell me in the chat room, us practicing a backward value system where wealth is number 1 and spiritual is number 10. How has that worked for us? How has that worked for us? When this is why you see our people giving our hard-earned money away to these charlatans. This is why you see this. Because we putting wealth before spirituality. We're putting our leisure before our health. We're putting our profession before our family. Why you think there's so many angry little black boys running around? Because his mama never home. His mother always at work. And when she come home, all she got is some food for him. And then when she got some time off, she just spending money on him. But she not really talking to him. She not showing him that love and that affection and that care because she putting profession over her family. And she think it's okay because she's educated. So she don't care how she appears to her children. She doesn't care how she appears to her husband. He doesn't care how he appears to his sons because he got to work and get the bag. Daddy got to go get the bag. But you neglecting your family. And you don't know how that makes you look. You don't even care. Because your education, you putting education before your family and your appearance, it tells you to chase the bag. See, this is the backward value system I'm breaking down to y'all right now. And you replace mobility with your dwelling. This is why most men will go buy a goddamn car before they have their own place to live. They'll go lease a car and pay a car note instead of going to pay rent at an apartment. This is why you have so many guys living out their cars. Because they're practicing a backward value system. This is why we've been suffering, brothers. This is why we keep dying at an alarming rate. Because the value system that governs this place represents slavery, suffering, and death. And that is what we've been experiencing, putting our wealth over our spirituality, putting our leisure over our health. You know how many people caught COVID trying to go on vacation when they told people to stay their ass home? Excuse me. But the CDC said, stay home. If you go somewhere, put a mask on. Do you know how many people caught COVID because they put leisure over their health? Brothers, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. We saw this in real time. How many people caught COVID coming on vacations? How many people brought COVID to these islands? They just busted a bunch of people who drew up fake COVID documents. You know, the little papers that was saying you took the test? People was buying the fake ones so they could travel. Leisure over health. Leisure over health. You want to go to Punta Cana so bad because it's cheap right now. And you're getting all this stimulus money. So you want to show off and travel so you could take a bunch of little beach pictures in the middle of a pandemic. Perfect example of leisure, people putting leisure over their health. Putting their profession over their family. How many of us hear young black men tell us, my mother was never home. She was always at work. My mother never had time for me. My dad never had time for me because he was always at work. He worked 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. And when he came home, he ate and went to sleep. He left us some money though, but I barely knew my dad. How many black men you hear that? You hear that from? Yeah, my dad left us some money, but I ain't really know my dad. He lived a secret life because he put profession over his family. You see? This is the backward value system, family. And see, they designed it like this so we can worship being a consumer. A blind buyer. All you know how to do is buy. Spend, 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 spend. Consume, 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 consume. Consume, 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 consume. And that's what they want us to do. That's what they want us to do. Because guess what? We're only consuming what they want us to consume. And you know how they know that? By the value system we represent. So we value drill culture, drill music. Because that's tied into pop culture. You see? See, what I'm breaking down now is this. Biocotyron. This is what I'm breaking down now. See, when you accept the backward value system, now they control how you think and they control how you feel. So now you're going to create behaviors and customs based on how you think and how you feel. So if we make it cool for young black men to be savages, right? Based on what? By taking one guy from that environment, Chief Keef, blowing him up, giving him all this money, showing him in LA. He got on all this jewelry. He got all of these cars. Everyone's proud of him. He's famous. And his number one song is bang, 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 bang. The whole song, he's making gunshot noises. Bang, 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 bang. So now, what does this tell the young black man that's in that same environment that uphold that same value system? Oh, I need to be like Chief Keef. I need to aspire to be him. See, now we have the drill culture. And once Chief Keef was replicated, Little Dirk was replicated, FBG Duck was replicated, Pop Smoke was replicated, Fabio Foreign was replicated. Now drill culture is part of pop culture, which is popular, which is the norm. And now that leads to we spinning your block and shooting everybody outside, even women and children. You see how this works, Kwame? You see why? You see why you're not supposed to uphold the gynocracy? Because everything you say you against, you're perpetuating it. And you may not know. So if you hear this video, you may not know. But school's in session, Kwame. See, because you may not understand bio-occult Iran. That's why you're promoting the backward value system, which will not change the minds and the hearts of young black men. It won't. It will not. How could it? How could it? When the system that you promote teaches black men to be human doings and not human beings. So if we're human doings, if we're savages and demons, doings, evil doings, by the way, but doings and not human beings, how can we love one another and work with one another, Kwame? See, what we have to promote as men